what happened on the floor of the Constituent Assembly on 10th October 1949? This is a fundamental question posed before the Constituent Assembly about the prestigious All India services, whether or not the then existing All India services should continue in the post-independence India. This is the fundamental question placed before this august assembly to debate, discuss and decide. Here is a visual of the Constituent Assembly, an assembly of the luminaries, the best brains available in that context, lawyers, journalists, social workers, educationists, philosophers, who assembled in this assembly to chisel out all the provisions of our constitution, including a transformative and impactful everlasting Article 312, which deals with the All India services. The debate was, should we or should we not have these All India services? There are certain members who are vehemently opposed the continuation of this All India services in the post-independence era. However, the first Home Minister, Sardar Patel, what were his views? What did he say on the floor of the Constituent Assembly about the All India services? What was his mind at that time about the prestigious services? What were his views, his ideas and his expectations from the prestigious All India service as the Home Minister of the great nation who is instrumental in unifying our country? However, there are certain members who opposed the continuation of the All India services. Shri M. Ananthasainam Iyengar of Madras Presidency, Professor Shibbanlal Saxena of United Province, Shri Kuladhar Shalia, Assam Province, Babu Narayan Singh of Bihar General Assembly, they vehemently opposed on the floor of the Constituent Assembly for giving continuity to the All India services. Shri Ananthasainam Iyengar of Madras Presidency, he said that this particular service for whom we are making provision here was the heaven-born service of the previous regime, the British regime who created the All India service. And they will continue to be the heaven-born service even after independence. That was his prediction. This is an extraordinary guarantee which we are creating for this All India services as an article in the Constitution. And that guarantee means they were rulers during the British old regime and they will continue to do so in the new regime in the post-independence era. He expressed these apprehensions on the floor of the Constituent Assembly on 10th October 1949. Professor Shibbanlal Saxena, he said, this is, from the very beginning, the Congress regarded the civil service as the steel frame of our nation. This steel frame enslaved us under the British. And the way in which they were pampered, both by the British as well as by the provinces. And it was regarded as the heaven-born service, which the officers think that they were heaven-born. Shri Kuladhar Shalia, he emphasized that this heaven-born service has been pampered so much and to such an extent by Lee Commission, and even then we cried hoarse and we didn't want this service to continue in the independent India. Babu Ram Narayan Singh of the Bihar General Assembly, he said, under Swarajya, civil servants must offer to the community the assurance that they would serve the country sincerely with the devotion and the dedication. On our part, we are today giving them assurance that their future will be safeguarded by this constitutional provision. But whether there was any reciprocal assurances coming from them to that effect, that they would serve the country sincerely, honestly and incorruptibly without corruption. It's common knowledge now that not even an iota of change has come in their behavior, and that they still are what they had been during the British regime. He expected sincerity, he expected honesty and incorruptible nature of the All India Service officers. That was his expectation. Now, coming to Sardar Patel, what was his views, his utterances on the floor of the Constituent Assembly about this prestigious organization, prestigious services? He said, do not quarrel with the instruments with which you want to work, with you want to extract work from. It's a bad workman who quarrels with his instruments. Take work from them. They are the best brains, recruited through the best All India competitive examination on merit based in a transparent manner. They are the meritorious boys and girls who are joining this service. Why are you quarreling with these instruments? You should know how to get work out of them. There is a glamour for the civil services on the part of the Indian youth. The civil servants are capable people. They are meritorious. They have brains. They are as patriotic as we are all. They serve the nation with dignity, with the competence, with the sincerity. Why are you blaming the tools? It's a bad workman who blames his tools. Sardar Patel continued on the floor of the Constituent Assembly. If we want an efficient All India service, I advise you to allow the services to open their mouth freely, without fear, without restrictions. If you are a premier, like Prime Minister, or a Chief Minister of a state, or a minister it would be your duty to allow your secretary or chief secretary or other services working under you to express their opinion without fear or favor. Give them that intellectual freedom. They came through one of the toughest competitive examinations on merit based, without fear or favor, and these best brains will give you the best of the advice to either to the Prime Minister or to the Chief Minister or to any minister. He cautioned, he warned the members of the Constituent Assembly that the union will go. You will not have a united India if you have not got a good All India service which has the independence to speak out its mind, which has a sense of security, that you will stand by your word, and that after all there is the parliament of which we can be proud of, where their privileges and their administrative rights are secured through a constitutional provision. The purpose of the constitutional provision given to the All India Service officers is to ensure and to assure them that their rights and their privileges are safeguarded by the Constitution of India. He said that the union will disintegrate, the which we have created through sweat and toil. India, that is Bharat, a union of states, requires this All India services with independent mind to speak, to give their advice on file without fear or favor. If you do not adopt this course, that means constitutional provision for the All India services, then do not follow the present constitution. I don't need this constitution. I don't want this constitution. Substitute this constitution with something else. Put in a Congress constitution or some other constitution or whatever you like, but not this constitution without All India service officers. That was the Sardar Patel's emphatic and unequivocal stand taken on the floor of the Constituent Assembly, supporting the continuation of the All India services. He also said that there are so many unanticipated impediments in the enforcement, in the execution of the constitutional provisions for the development of our great nation. These impediments will hamper us, will challenge us. But in spite of that, we have in our collective wisdom come to a decision that we shall have this model of administration which is headed by all India service officers, wherein the ring of service will be such that will keep the country under control, will ensure development, will ensure prosperity, will ensure safety and security to the people and their properties across all the states in India, across all the provinces in India. He said, Sardar Patel again emphasized that I have told them means the All India service officers already serving under him with him. If you do not give your honest opinion on file for fear that it will displease your minister, please, then you are better go home. You are not worthy of an All India service. I will bring another secretary. I will never be displeased over a frank and forthright expression of your opinion based on facts, factual information, after doing tremendous homework, and your opinion should benefit the larger good of the society. Then I honor your opinion. I honor your file notings. These people are instruments of good governance, instruments of competence, instruments of development. Remove them, and I see nothing but a picture of chaos all over our country, all our great nation. The union will go, it will disintegrate into pieces within no time without the All India services steel frame. These are the observations of the great Sardar Patel about the All India services. Once and for all, you decide whether you want this service or not. If you have done with it and decided not to have this service at all, even in spite of my pledge word, I will take the services with me and leave, and I'll go. Because the union cannot survive without the steel frame of administrators who are selected on merit-based, on all India basis through an open, transparent, competitive examination system. And this steel frame is required for the unity, integrity of our great nation. Then there are so many expectations. You read about the mind of Sardar Patel and his enormous expectations from these All India service officers. How many IAS officers are there in India? About 7,000 and odd. How many IPS officers? 3,500 and odd. How many IFS officers? Maybe roughly around the equal number. His expectations are the national integration. The union will go. The India will disintegrate without this steel frame. National integration is ensured through the cadre system. And this steel frame, the strong edifice to provide an able, dependable, time-tested administrative machinery for the entire system to emerge, sustain, and deliver welfare measures for the poor and the needy. And Sardar Patel expectations are, I expect the ethical approach, non-corruptible approach, efficient approach, impeccable integrity, and corruption-free administration under all the All India service officers. And he expected above all the independent and free mind to advise the political masters objectively, impartially, apolitically, and principle-based decision-making purpose. Your advice to the ministers, including the Prime Minister, shall be based on factual information which shall be objective, impartial, and principle-based. Now, after 75 years of freedom, independence, is it not time to do introspect whether the All India Services officers have lived up to the expectations of Sardar Patel? The common people now, looking at the All India Service officers, whether they have failed Sardar Patel and his expectations. There are umpty number of corruption cases against IAS and IPS officers. There are some officers dismissed from service, some facing suspension. Who is at fault? Is it the individual failed or the system per se failed, the Sardar Patel? As far as my understanding goes, the individual is at fault, not the system, not the All India services per se. There are great officers from IAS, IPS and IFS and other services. And there are black sheeps who are facing jail terms, who are facing suspension, dismissal from service. It's a part of the system. They joined the service not to serve, but to make money. Such black sheeps were identified and sent home or sent to jail. There are certain officers who have the illustrious career, extraordinary commitment to the nation, to the rule of law, to the constitutional provisions, starting from Nagaland to Gujarat, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. These officers uphold the vision, uphold the expectations of the great Sardar Patel. They are the luminaries, they are the greatest officers serving the nation for the past 75 years. These officers are from different services, and they remained illustrious, they remained exemplary throughout their career, bringing glory and great name to the service. They know in the heart of hearts, the framers of our constitution, especially the personalities like Sardar Patel, who has integrated the entire nation into a single cohesive monolithic union, has great expectations from this best brains selected through the meritorious, open, transparent, competitive examination system. Will never fail the founding fathers of our nation, who have expressed unfailing faith in the competence of the All India service officers, especially Sardar Patel, who emphatically supported the All India service officers for the unity and integrity of our great nation. We salute our civil servants, the steel frame of India, for their significant contribution and dedication towards the nation building. Jai Hind.